Altogether, a sultry feeling prevails, isn't it? Even then, in total, it's a pleasant atmosphere. Welcome once again to News Analysis. News Analysis, a weekly magazine on current affairs. To begin with the main points in a nutshell. BP attempts top kill method to seal oil well in Gulf. 158 people got killed in Air India Express crash in Mangalore. Atlantis shuttle lands at Kennedy. North Korea scraps South Korea military safeguard pact. Blast kills 6 outside theatre in Stavropol in Russia. Maoist strikes again in West Bengal. Now, the news in detail. BP attempts top kill method to seal oil well in Gulf. BP began a maneuver known as a top kill on a stricken oil well in the Gulf of Mexico on Wednesday afternoon, generating hope that the company might soon be able to plug a leak that has poured millions of gallons of oil into the water and foul 100 miles of Louisiana coastline. BP officials emphasized that the success was not guaranteed and the top kill could fail at any moment. But engineers and geologists following the effort, in which heavily fluids are injected into the well, said the likelihood of success grew with every passing hour. The operation is proceeding as we planned it, said Tony Hayward, BP's chief executive, in a statement Wednesday evening. We will be continuing for at least another 24 hours. Doug Suttles, BP's Chief Operating Officer for Exploration and Production, said at a news conference Wednesday evening that it would be a day or more before it was clear whether the top kill had worked. He said that more than 7,000 barrels of drilling mud had been pumped at varying rates. After the news conference, Rear Admiral Mary E. Landry of the Coast Guard, the federal on-scene coordinator, said that she was encouraged, but that she did not want to express optimism until the well was secured. Later, reports say that the top kill method has been moderately successful in closing the leak. 158 people got killed in Air India Express crash in Mangalore. An Air India Express flight coming from Dubai crash-landed and almost all passengers and the air crew got killed. The captain and co-pilot also got killed in the accident. The cockpit voice recorder, the CVR, and the flight data recorder, FDR, of the ill-fated Air India Express plane was recovered on Sunday from the crash site and are expected to provide vital clues about the cause of the accident that led 158 passengers and crew dead. The CVR, which provides conversation details between the pilot and the air traffic control within the cockpit, and FDR, the black box containing the technical data, were removed from the wreckage of the Boeing 737-800 aircraft, airline sources said. Teams probing the worst air tragedy in the country in a decade had begun their operations early in the morning itself to locate the CVR and FDR. Certain other instruments and aircraft portions, which would be of help in the investigation, have also been extricated from the plane's debris, they said. Air India workers call off their strike. Air India workers have called off the 2-day strike and left tens of thousands of passengers stranded after the court asked them to return to work. The strike was called in protest at an alleged gag on staff speaking about the air disaster in Mangalore. More than 100 flights were cancelled. Air India sacks 41 personnel and de-recognizes 2 more unions. On last Thursday, continuing its purgatory efforts, even after calling off the strike of employees, 2 unions have been de-recognized and 41 personnel showed the door. Air India, with its huge assets, is still an ailing company. Our attitude towards public wealth, especially the attitude of the public servants towards public wealth, may be the reason of this kind of failures. Atlantis shuttle lands at Kennedy. The Atlantis shuttle has landed at the Kennedy Space Center after what looks have been its final mission. The vehicle touched down on runway 33 at the Florida spaceport at 0848 local time, 12:48 GMT. Atlantis, with its 6-person crew, has just delivered a Russian mini-module and spare equipment in the International Space Station, ISS. The orbiters are due to be retired this year, and just 2 more outings are planned for Discovery and Endeavour. Once the crew had disembarked, Commander Ham said, "Atlantis is an incredible ship. She was absolutely perfect through this entire mission. The ship will not go straight to a museum. It will be instead go back to the orbiter processing facility at Kennedy. There it will be prepared as a standby shuttle ready to go and rescue the astronauts on the remaining flights should they go into any trouble." Atlantis took its first flight 3rd October 1985. Total number of flights was 32. Distance travel is 195 million kilometers. Total number of days in the orbit is 294. Total number of orbits is 4,648. North Korea scraps South Korea military safeguard pact. North Korea has announced it will scrap an agreement aimed at preventing accidental naval clashes with South Korea amid rising tensions over the sinking of a South Korean warship. The move is in retaliation for Seoul blaming Pyongyang for a torpedo attack that sank in the Cheonan in March. The announcement comes as the South Korean Navy conducts a major anti-submarine drill. An international probe found Cheonan was sunk by Northern torpedo. North Korea has denied the allegation. In a statement on the North Korean official news agency on Thursday, the North Korean military also warned that if South Korean vessels cross the disputed maritime border between the two countries, it would launch an immediate attack. The BBC's John Sedworth in Seoul says the announcement is another piece in picture that is coming out of North Korea if increasing tension prevails. North Korea has announced on a previous occasion that it was scrapping all previous agreements with South Korea. It also announced late on Tuesday it was cutting all ties with South. It has also banned South Korean ships and planes from its territory. It has said it will close the last road link between North and South if South Korean loudspeaker broadcasts or propaganda across the border resume. Thursday's announcement came hours after 10 South Korean warships took part in an anti-submarine drill. The South Korean exercise is one of the first visible signs of raising of South Korea's defense posture in response to the incident, our correspondent says. South Korea has meanwhile announced a package of measures, including a halt to most trade. It is also seeking action via the United Nations Security Council. With tensions rising rapidly, the North has rejected angrily to trade and shipping sanctions announced by the South. The two states are technically still at war after the Korean conflict ended without a peace treaty in 1953. First Kashmir survey produces startling results. A survey which is British academic says is the first systematic attempt to establish the opinions of Kashmiris have produced striking results. Robert Badnock interviewed more than 3,700 people in Indian and Pakistani administered Kashmir to assess their views on various issues. One of the key questions put to respondents was how they saw the future of the territory. Nearly half of those interviewed said they wanted independence.